is up, you heathens and demons? Welcome back to the Raging Atheist. I'm your boy Nakasuchi. And let's get right back into our history of Christmas.
Oh my God.
Oh my knee.
Now, Christmas will once again slightly change. Christmas will be invented as the feast day for the Nativity 400 years after Jesus died. You know, all jokes aside, that's the fucking truth. For the first 400 years after Jesus died, Christians didn't know when he was born because the Bible didn't fucking say when he was born. Now, the Bible does say that, sheep are grazing, because we know that because of the story of the three wise men, the three shepherds. So we know that sheep are grazing, so we know that the nativity story happened in the springtime. We know that. That's truth. Jesus wasn't born in December. He wasn't born on December 25th. And that was never even really an issue outside of theological debate for the first 400 years. The major emphasis of the Christian religion for the first 400 years was Jesus' resurrection. His birth bared no significance at all, and they certainly as fuck didn't have a holiday for it for the first 400 years. Now, what changed? What changed was Christian growing in political power inside the Empire of Rome. You had went through Christian persecution with Nero and other emperors. Christians were persecuted, and famously, famous Christians were put to death horribly. But then Constantine came along and pretty much changed all of that, adopted Christianity. And this was 400 years after Jesus died.
How are you?
It's going okay. Are you the Lord?
Well, to you I am. See, technically you're like in this REM sleep state, and I'm a mixture of your mind's images of God, some past authority figures, Sky, and your dad. Basically, your subconscious came up with me to help you deal. Dig?
Now, every year, the Christians of Rome had a problem. Because, their power was growing and growing, but the pagan holiday on the winter solstice pretty much went against what their Savior taught. I mean, it was a time of wild debauchery. It was a time of orgy. People were fucking that shouldn't be fucking. But they also knew, and in Rome, the mob had the power in Rome, always did, that if you took away this holiday from the people of Rome, you're going to have a huge fucking problem. So that wasn't even an option to these early Christians forming their church in Rome. These early Catholics. It wasn't even, a possibility. So they had to come up with another solution. And the only other fucking solution was to somehow incorporate this major holiday of the Roman people into the religion that they were trying to get these Roman people to follow. Now, I believe it was the famous Council of Nicaea, however the fuck you say it, where this was pronounced, but the early Christians compromised and said instead of Jesus' birthday coming up with a birthday in the actual time that he was born, they just said he was born December 25th and let's fucking party. And everything was pretty much peachy for a few decades after that. Everybody got along fine. And even though people were clearly committing sins in this period, the clergy of Rome was quite content to let them do so as long as they were paying lip service to Jesus. So they could have their pagan holiday as long as the word Jesus Christ came out their mouth.
Good night, God.
Good night, Mary.
But by this compromise, by changing his birth date to December 25th, they really made a serious flaw. A serious mistake. This was a serious flaw of judgment. Because they gave up any pretense of creating a way on how to celebrate his birthday. Because forevermore, now his birthday is linked to an ancient pagan celebration, was created for that ancient pagan celebration. We celebrate that ancient pagan celebration to this day. I don't celebrate Christmas. You know, this is our holiday for family and friends. This is our holiday to see people we don't normally see. This is my holiday with my daughter, and to see that, you know, expression on her face Christmas morning. It has nothing to do with God and everything to do with humanity. You know, and this is why I don't really understand when Christians ask atheists how they can still celebrate Christmas. Because, you know, they're coming from a place of ignorance that this is actually a religious holiday. It's not. It's a human holiday. It always has been. You know, and it's always had religious connotations. You know, as I said, the Romans were either celebrating Saturn or Ra, or the Norse gods were, you know, Thor and Odin and all that shit. But it's always been, you know, whatever religion you were, humans celebrated it. The question really isn't, you know, how can atheists celebrate Christmas? The question really is, how can you Christians celebrate this pagan holiday? It goes against your religion. You know, and I'm fairly certain that ignorance isn't going to be an excuse if God does exist and you have to face his ass. So as always, I'm your boy Nakasuchi. This is The Raging Atheist. Quick little video, History of Jesus, going to continue. Going to get one more today on Christmas Eve. See you soon.